So in my opinion, there are three reasons why you shouldn't use an interest-only mortgage. I feel like a lot of people get this wrong because there are some common myths around this. Now, the first issue is that using an interest-only loan reduces your future borrowing capacity because of how the banks look at these sorts of mortgages. Basically, the banks know that once your loan finishes, finishes the interest only period, your repayments are going to then be higher than if you'd gone principal and interest from the start. And so that means that the banks need to factor this in when they're figuring out how much money they can lend you, and your borrowing power can be smashed as a result. This is going to be particularly crippling if you want to buy multiple investment properties in the future. So you definitely want to be careful with that. The second thing is that because interest-only loans are more expensive than regular principal and interest loans. So normally the difference is around 0.3%, meaning that on $1 million loan, you pay around $3,000 more each year on an interest-only loan rather than a principal and interest loan. And just to be clear, that's dead interest expense, not you paying down your debt. Now, if you use a principal and interest loan, you pay a little bit more in your repayments. It might be around $9,000 a year in extra payments. But the difference is that you actually reduce your loan by $12,000 every single year. So if interest only makes the difference between you affording an investment property or not, then I think it's worth looking at. But in most other cases, I'll take the $12,000 in loan reduction rather than just kicking an extra $3,000 into the bank's profit margins. The final issue is that you never actually pay down your debt, which means that you're entirely dependent on your property increasing in value. Now, don't get me wrong. I know for sure that when you choose a good investment property, you will get fairly consistent growth into the future. And paying off your mortgage is a really slow way to go about building your wealth. But having both the property growth and the debt reduction happening at the same time does mean faster progress, and it means reducing your risk.